Education, they say, is the foundation of every thriving society. And the heart of the Sahel Yobe State is laying that foundation with purpose and passion, from rebuilding schools destroyed by conflict to establishing model science colleges and improving teacher welfare. The government of Yobe State is rewriting the narrative of learning, one student, one classroom, and one policy at a time. Welcome to Impact Yobe, where we spotlight the transformation shaping the future of school children. I am Mark Otabo. In today's edition, we explore the strategies driving excellence in basic and secondary education across Yobe State. Stay with us, we'll be right back in a bit.
At a special recognition ceremony in Abuja, the federal government rolled out the drums for Miss Nafisa Abdullah Aminu, who emerged as the world's best in English language skills at the prestigious 2025 Teen Eagle Global Finals. 17-year-old Nafisa, representing the Nigerian Tulip International College, beat over 20,000 participants from 69 countries, including native English-speaking nations, to clinch the top spot. The Minister of Education, Maruf Tunji Alausa, alongside the Minister of State for Education, described her as a beacon of excellence and inspiration to Nigerian youths.
Giving them all the support that they need. They wouldn't have been here today without you. But thank you so much. You're not doing it for your children. You're doing it to shape the world. These are kids that will be inventors, entrepreneurs, researchers, teachers, doctors, engineers, educationists that will educate the next set of generation to come. These are kids, you've helped train these kids to not only excel, to not only compete nationally, but to compete globally, which is what Nigerians are doing. We're known for the highest quality of education that we provide in this country. We're excelling in the world.
Discipline and determination have brought you this recognition. I urge you not to see this as the end of your journey, but as the beginning of greater possibilities. Continue to aim higher and let your success inspire others to believe in themselves and pursue excellence.
Nafisa is a product of the Yobe State education system. Also celebrated were Rukaya Mohammed Fema and Hadiza Kashim Kali, both from Yobe State, who excelled in debate and communication skills at the global contest. The Yobe State Commissioner for Basic Education, Abba Idris, says the victory reflects the resilience of a state whose education system was once battered by insurgency, but now it is rapidly recovering and developing.
Part of the measures adopted by the Buni administration to revamp basic education in the state include reconstruction of over 300 schools destroyed by Boko Haram insurgency, establish 15 mega and model schools, and 8 new government girls senior science secondary schools to boost girl child education, procured books, laboratory equipment, and other instructional materials.
Nafisa, on her part, expressed gratitude to the state government, her school, parents, and the federal government for creating the environment that made her global win possible. She and her fellow champions received monetary awards from the Minister of Education and Yobe State government, and they pledged to do more for the nation.
These achievements for the world best in English language is not just for me, it is for my family, my school, Yobe State and Nigeria. Respectfully, I conclude by expressing my deepest gratitude to my dear parents, and earnestly pray that Almighty Allah grant them the best in this world and the hereafter. God bless Nigeria.
They should believe in themselves and hard work. With hard work, everything can be done. And they should pray, because prayer helps.
Advice to my fellow ones and performance students: a big shout out. Each one of you put in your best, and it will show whether it was on the stage or behind the scenes.
I feel really proud that I could come up here and be recognized throughout Nigeria, and I'm proud for everyone else that participated alongside with me.
For Yobe State, this accolade for one of their own is an attestation of the quality of education in the state, and they assured that the administration of Governor Mai Mala Buni will continue to invest in the growth of education and support the development of the girl child. With these achievements, Nigeria's education sector is not just making local strides, but also proving that its youths can stand shoulder to shoulder with the very best across the globe.
Welcome to the interview segment of Impact Yobe. As you can see, we are outdoors ready to go on a ride with a fantastic interview with the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education and none other but the Associate Professor, Abba Idris Adam. Good to have you on the show.
Good to have you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, I'll begin quickly by letting you into some of the issues that have been hovering around your ministry, and congratulations on the three ladies that have shown some level of commitment with their drastic, strides in the area of education. Hadiza and of course Nafisa. And please give us an overview of how this all transpired and why we are celebrating them now, and whatever it is you have done that has brought them to this, celebration status that we are enjoying today.
Well, Yobe State, Nigeria, and the entire world is celebrating these three champions of Yobe State. Nafisa Abdullahi, the world based in basic English skills. Rukaya Muhammad, the world based in debate. And Hadiza Kashim Kali, the world based in Outstanding Talent Award. These three students are a product of Yobe State schools and then currently studying in Nigeria Tulip International College here in Mamudo, Yobe State. Is a college constructed and built by the state, sponsored by the state, and also these students are beneficiaries of Yobe State scholarships. You can see the performance of the student because His Excellency Honorable Mai Mala Buni has taken the bold step of selecting some of the brilliant students in Yobe State and then sponsoring them. In Nigeria Tulip International College and TVC Mamudo, we have about 890 students. Wow. Each one, the school fees, registration, and everything of each one is 2.5 million naira. As of this year, we, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, on behalf of His Excellency, we paid about 2,255 million naira in scholarship of these students. So these three candidates are part of these 890 students, and there are many more coming.
All right, let's look at out-of-school children now, because I could imagine what they will be feeling looking at the likes of Nafisat, Hadiza, and what they have done. How is the government prepping up to actually engage out-of-school children to also get them back into the system?
You know, the strategies implemented by His Excellency through the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has drastically brought the number of out-of-school children to the barest minimum. For example, in the year 2020, the Nigeria National Bureau of Statistics gave the total number of percentage of out-of-school children in Yobe State about 43%. But today, the number has reduced to 21.29% due to the initiative of His Excellency. For example, the total population of Yobe State is 4.3 million. So the school-age children, that's between the age of 4 to 14, is about 26 million. That's about 1.1 million. And then the total enrollment in public school is about 63%. And this is representing about 733,000. And then total enrollment in Almajiri and Zangaya schools about 15.5%. That is about 180,000. So the total number of out-of-school children now will give you 21.29%. So you can see how the number of out-of-school children is drastically dropping as a result of this great initiative of His Excellency.
Prof, I'm very concerned about a situation right now because it's all girls we're celebrating now.
Exactly.
And everybody is a bit concerned. What about the boys? Are the boys really as serious and as passionate as the ladies are? Because as it is right now, it appears the ladies are responding well to the educational program. What about the boys? Are they also fitting into the plan to also get us to see them being celebrated too?
Well, there are two sections to this question. Question number one is because this competition of these three girls that we are now celebrating is a girls-only competition. All right. So we are hoping when there is a boys-only competition, Yobe State will also go there, beat the entire world, and come back home with the trophy. Secondly, is because of the initiative of His Excellency. For example, the emphasis is on girl-child education, because, as you know, we are in the post-insurgency recovery period. So the aim is to make sure that girl-child has access to quality education. That's why in the last 2 years, His Excellency, Honorable Mai Malabuni, established 10 girls-only secondary schools. And now under the initiative and program of His Excellency, Agile, Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, we are going to construct 50 schools. 25 schools out of this are going to be purely for girls, and then the other 25 is going to be for boys and girls. So you can see the preference we are giving to girls' education in order to make sure, because we believe when you educate a girl, you are educating the entire nation. So because of this, the focus is on girl-child education without neglecting the right of boys at the same time.
Now, thank you very much. Now, I will be very keen to asking you this, because I know Nigerians will be willing to actually know, how is the Yobe State government, integrating technology into the school system? Because as it is right now, we have to catch them young. This is the time when their brain is, very agile enough to be able to pick up the necessary basics concerning education, technology, how to imbibe AI into the curriculum. So how do you think how is the Yobe State government actually prepping up in this regard?
One of the priorities we are giving is to science and technology, particularly the ICT, information technology. We realize that if you groom a student now without equipping him with all the ICT skills, he will become like an outdated person within his own period of time. So what we are doing, His Excellency, Honorable Mai Malabuni, in collaboration with Islamic Development Bank, we have launched a program called Smart Ed. This Smart Ed is a short form of Smart Education. What we are looking for is to provide our schools with all the necessary ICT equipment, training and retraining of the teachers. We want a child right from primary school to be able to operate basic ICT equipment. And by the time they move and transit to tertiary institution, there they are going to meet that the university or His Excellency has already provided a platform for them to excel. So ICT is one of the key priority areas that is having a very important share in the schools, in the state's budgetary allocation.
From your perspective, Nigerians will be willing to know what plan or program do you have instilled for our teachers for them to be on the job? Because you just mentioned technology, and I know that it takes a teacher well refined to be able to go through that path. So what exactly are you all doing to ensure that teachers are integrated into the system so they can stay for this reform to have a level of flight?
It says that no nation can develop beyond the quality of its teachers. We believe teachers are the center of any development. That is why during this year, for example, we approved a policy that is called Teacher Professional Development Policy. This policy is talking about professional development of our teachers, how a teacher would be professionally developed through, for example, participating in workshops, training and conferences, and also granting them opportunity to further their studies in tertiary institution. For those that have not acquired the required qualification for teaching, will be given the chance to do so. So in a nutshell, our policy is ensuring that our teachers have catch up with the rest of the world in order to play a vital role in the society.
All right, Prof, I would really want Nigerians to know how you are able to measure performance. What is the Ministry of Basic Education doing to monitor the performance of these students to ensure maximum, performance at that level?
Number one, you need to look at the performance of the students, because an excellent teacher is going to produce an excellent student. The performance of the student, particularly in their continuous assessment, in their exams, and overall in their performance in WAEC and NECO. You see, one of the best things the Yobe State is providing for students is that even the registration of WAEC and NECO is being taken care of by the state government. So no child is paying anything. What is important is that the mechanism we are putting in place is that we have divided our teachers into 3 categories. Category number one are what we call qualified teachers, and these have been posted into various schools to handle various tasks and responsibilities. The second one are not qualified but trainable. These are not qualified, but if they are trained, if they receive a proper training, they can be qualified. So what we are doing with this category is that we are giving them a rigorous workshop and training so that they can catch up with the rest of the teachers. Right. The last category are the not qualified and not trainable. What we are recommending for this, what we have recommended to the state government, and action has already taken place, we are going to post them to where their services are needed. We are not going to disengage them, because by the time you disengage them, definitely you cut off their source of income. And this is going to add more economic problem to us. So what we are doing, we are posting them to where their services are needed. So you can see how we, categorize the teachers into all these categories.
Everything you've mentioned so far will require funding. So I really want you to take us through a path of let us understanding what your partnerships that is existing between the state government and development partners like UNICEF, Yobe, etc. in strengthening basic and secondary education.
Number one, education is having a very big share in our budgetary allocation. And not just in the budget, but even the budget performance. For example, in the previous year, just last year, 2024, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has accessed 99% of the total budgetary allocation of the ministry. Wow. So you can see how His Excellency is approving all the requests coming from the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Secondly, the counterpart funding we are giving to UBEC, that's Universal Basic Education, in the SUBEB, that is State Basic Education Board. His Excellency has released the sum of 7.5 billion naira as a counterpart funding to UBEC and SUBEB in order to make sure that education has received a lion's share. In addition to that, there are many development partners that are contributing their quota, many of them. For example, the major among them, like UNICEF, for example, even as we are talking today, UNICEF has taken the responsibility of providing translated copies of textbooks into Hausa, Fulfulde, and Kanuri. Wow. Because the essence of this, we want our children to have foundational skills of basic numeracy and literacy. The UNICEF has already approved about 130 million naira for this. So these books are coming anytime. You can see how our development partners are complementing the effort of His Excellency in order to make sure that each and every child in the state has access to a quality and sound education.
Let's talk about notable infrastructure now, development projects in public schools, because infrastructure is the bane of education most of the time. And people would ask how far we're going to take it to the next level. So what is happening with infrastructure, with laboratories, classrooms, and the necessary, amenities that should aid education? What notable infrastructure is happening right now that you can tell us?
One of the clear evidence of this is this school that we are now standing in. Okay. This is one of the mega schools. His Excellency has constructed 7 mega schools, 7 model schools, and constructed so many more new schools, in addition to the renovation of the existing ones. Besides that, as just mentioned in some few sentences, that His Excellency has approved the construction of 50 more schools. 50 more schools, and the process has already kick-started. So we are expecting in the next few months, all the contractors will move to site, because the sites have been identified and have been allocated. The fund has been released. It is up to the contractors now to move to the site.
Okay. Now, Professor, quickly, looking ahead, what are the government's top priorities for transforming the education sector in Yobe State in the next 2 years?
Well, there are key 5 priority areas. Okay. Number one, it's addressing the problem of out-of-school children. As I said earlier, Boko Haram has displaced many. This resulted in adding to the number of out-of-school children. Number 2, teacher training and development. So far, His Excellency has recruited over 5,000 new teachers, in addition to the existing ones. Thirdly is the physical infrastructure that I have just mentioned. 50 more schools are coming, in addition to the ones that have already been constructed. This next one is provision of teaching and learning materials. This has already been there. For example, now in the process, we are processing. In fact, we are intending to provide all the textbooks to our students, including the exercise books. The final one is granting, more access to students so that the enrollment will be boosted. Our aim is to make sure that the number of out-of-school children has been reduced. The training our teachers will receive will make them qualified and more even qualified to stay in school and train our students.
I'm inside this place now, and this place brings memories back to my primary school back then, especially with sporting activities. Yeah. So before we go from this interview, quickly, give us a brief overview of how you are going to be able to, include sports into the curriculum of students.
Actually, in collaboration with Ministry of Youth and Sport, Yobe State Government is providing all the necessary support for sporting activities in the school. Beautiful. For example, ranging from football, volleyball, tennis and everything. Yeah. You can see in every school you go, there is a specified place actually demarcated for activities of sports.
I can see that myself. Yeah. Now, let's roll away from the whole hard talk now. Okay. Let's focus on Professor Abba Idris. Okay. Quickly, how do you relax? Because I know you work a lot. That's right. How do you relax as a person? Like when you want to have your swell time, how do you chill?
I actually find solace in reading books, watching football.
That is still work. Yeah, reading book is still work.
Sometimes when you read books, it will refresh your memory. It will add to the pool of knowledge that you're already having. So it will give you a new perspective on how the world moves and how are you going to interact. Good. So by the time I read books, it gives me fresh ideas on how to handle challenges in office.
What's your favorite football club? Do you have a favorite football club?
Well, it's like you want me to have, you don't want me to have peace in my house, right? Well, I'm a supporter of Liverpool Football Club.
Oh, you never walk alone.
My wife is supporting Arsenal.
Oh, your wife's an Arsenal fan?
Don't tell her.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much.
It's been nice talking to you.
Thank you so much.
And I promise not to tell your wife what happened here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's been a wonderful interview, of course, on Impact Yobe, and I've been speaking with the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Associate Professor Abba Idris Adam, telling us all the strides that have been achieved with the Yobe State Government with education, and of course the support of His Excellency Mai Mala Buni in giving the boost needed to ensure that education takes the next level and of course flies wherever we want it to, because of how well they have structured the plan, how well they have made it for the teachers, how well they have actually provided the basic amenities needed to promote education in Yobe State. It's been a wonderful time on Impact Yobe. My name is Mark Otabo. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful time.